Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In this episode, I'll be covering several more Virus Mid levels, starting with this one. Book 3 Chapter 1 Weather Issue by Game Master Man, with 21 plays and a score of 2. My apologies for not getting to your levels sooner, Game Master Man. I've been meaning to do so for quite a while, but didn't find the time. So for this Virus Mid levels episode, I'll be covering all 3 levels in your level series. They shouldn't take too long. In fact, in this Virus Mid levels episode, I'll be covering 2 level series. The first one by Game Master Man, and the second one by Crystal Snow. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. If I have enough time, I'll squeeze in 1 or 2 more Virus Mid levels. Haven't seen those spy graphics used before. Or perhaps I've had, but it's been a while. This stage already expects me to use utilities, so I'm fine with using it now. Super Adapter and then Jet Adapter. Let's try this again. That was a bit of a close one there, but I accomplished it. Sure, let's go for the E-Tank. This section is not too much of a problem if you use the jet adapter, but without it, it's a lot more scary. Still easier than the previous section. That last Sparkman platform is the most scary one, due to how close it is to the ceiling. Thankfully no enemies to surprise me here. And now we're back out in the clear skies again. A bit of a longer level than I expected, but it's not too bad. Oh no, really? This is one of the reasons why I love damage boosting, although it was probably not necessary there. Compared with Book 2 Chapter 1, this is certainly a step up in difficulty. And there's the end of the level, about 5 to 6 minutes long. I could have done it faster if I hadn't died there, and if I played less cautiously. Second up is Book 3 Chapter 2 Bomb Factory, with 10 plays and a score of -2. And just like with the previous book series, we start the next stage at the end of the previous stage. Sure, let's get that. That could have ended rather poorly for me. Yeah, no thanks, I don't want to deal with you here. This stage has better checkpoint placement than the previous one, I'd say. Freebie tank. Strange, this stage isn't that difficult yet. Alright, that was a lot more straightforward than I expected. I love using the shine against the whoppers. Best weapon used against them, as long as you're in position to reflect back the rings. Frankly, this level feels easier than the previous one. More generous checkpoint placement and less difficult challenges. Even these sections are very straightforward. The hardest part of any stage was that drop section, where I had to combine use of the super adapter and jet adapter. Nothing else comes close. Well, maybe that section with all the Sparkman platforms. Primarily if you did Buster only and try to go back for the E-Tank. Checkpoint number 3, so I'm getting close to the end. Oh goody, another one of these sections. Nope, I thought I needed to combine usage of both, but that didn't happen. Never underestimate the power of damage boosting. I liked the previous one more, but this was fine. Considerably easier than the first one though. I don't know why this got a negative score. Honestly, I expected the previous level to actually have a negative score. Third up is Book 3, the final chapter, Construction Town, with 9 plays and a score of 3. Compared with Book 1 and Book 2, this series feels on the shorter side. The trade-off is that all levels feel better and more interesting. This screen reminds me of that one screen in Impact Man's level. That never gets old. Frankly, it feels better to ignore the carries and that enemy setup with the Benkeis and Gachapons. It's a lot faster that way. Getting deeper into the construction site. Now we're traveling into the cooling station, or perhaps into the sewers, or water supply. This should be checkpoint number 3, so I'm getting close to the end. All these stages have 4 checkpoints before I reach the end of the level. Although I have noticed there are some repeated challenges both inside the levels and between the 3 levels. For instance, that challenge involving sliding under a big eye while it's next to several gyro blocks. At the very least, all these stages have their own unique challenges. Though I wish the challenges with the cosmic platforms here went further. Everything I have so far, time to end this series. Compared with Book 2, it was definitely superior. Could do with several other improvements, but it's fine. For instance, a more cohesive identity for each level. The stages don't really blend in with each other, but I want more unique identities. I say it was a decent series and I had fun. Next up, I'm moving on to the Sigma Fortress Redux/demake series by Crystal Snow. The first stage has 26 plays and a score of 1. For this level series, I'll be replacing all the original musical tracks for the ones from the Signal Palace stages from Mega Man X. So instead of hearing Tornado Man's theme, you'll be hearing Sigma Palace 1. This opening section is a lot harder than the original due to the introduction of the magflies and the rain pushing us back. Honestly, the magflies are much more dangerous and annoying compared to the jammingers. Time for the section where we climb the cliffside. See, these enemies are much better replacements for the jammingers. Those should have been there. It's a shorter, more compressed climb upwards, but it takes into consideration the limitations of Mega Man Classic, and still maintains the original spirit of that section. Now if only I had the Storm Tornado. The closest replacement in terms of that weapon would be the Tornado Hold, but honestly the Storm Tornado would be more useful here than the Tornado Hold. These sections are mostly horizontal after all. Grenade Man already? I guess he's a replacement for Vile. In the original game, he's chased off by Zero onto the next screen, where he battles against him off screen. He still maintains his original weakness to the homing weapon. And now I swap over to Proto Man, who is the stand-in for Zero. Time for the off-screen battle against Vile and his right armor, which is to the right. Pretty simple overall, but Proto Man takes double damage here. So Zero sacrificed himself to destroy Vile's right armor. And now I face off against him for a final time as X. I wish there was a large life pickup there to replicate the full restore, instead of the E-Tank. That takes care of Vile. Now on to the rest of the level. There should have been a full life restore there, or a checkpoint. Wait, something's up there. Yeah, not the best placement of that enemy. I know what this section is replicating. I just wish the number of these enemies was decreased. After 6 attempts off screen, I made it. This section is a pain to do because of the enemy placements, mainly those dropper enemies. Because of that one section, it really ruined my fun in this level. And now we have to face off against double cut men. Well, these are really easy to defeat with their weaknesses. Now this stage is much harder than the original. I was liking where the stage was going originally, but now... Now we have these life and weaponry spawners, but they really should have been right after that boss battle. Time to face off against Boss Spider, or Bow Spider, or in this case Double Astermen. Defeating one defeats the other. I was liking where this demake was going, but that one section ruined my fun. Let's hope the rest of the levels are better than this. Next is Sigma Fortress 2, with 19 plays and a score of 2. And now I realize why I have the super adapter in my arsenal. It's to replicate dash jumping. Time for the rematch against Chill Penguin, or in this case Double Iceman. I'm not sure if it's even possible to dodge all their attacks. And these are to replace the right armors. Sadly, I can't get a right armor of my own, so it makes this section feel a bit more tedious. While I didn't expect this weapon to be so powerful here, it allowed me to almost completely circumvent this section. Also, the screen boundary is a bit broken here. Next up is the rematch against Storm Eagle, or in this case, Tornado Man and Shade Man standing in for him. Why are they weak to the shotgun ice? That doesn't seem right. Spark Manual was the one weak against the shotgun ice. The easiest of all the rematches. These rooms feel a lot more wide open than I remember them. Of course, that's because the screen boundaries are a bit broken. Compared with the previous one, this stage design is a lot better. So this is to replace the second fortress boss, Rangda Bangda, aka Lambda Bamda. Oh, this setup is gonna be problematic, especially as it already starts out with the spikes below. Plus there's that Yafu that pushes me around. Well, that's an easy way of taking care of them. Next up is Sigma Fortress 3, with 20 plays and a score of 1. For this section, I'm forced to use a Tornado Hold. It's certainly getting a lot of mileage in these demakes. Next up is the Maverick rematch against Armored Armadillo, or in this case, Springman as a stand-in. He should be weak to the electric weapon. Which in this case is the Pharaoh Shot. I would have gone with the Thunder Beam instead. The next rematch is against Steam Chameleon, or in this case, Double Woodman. Their weakness is the Rolling Cutter. Next rematch is against Spark Mandrill. Close enough replacement, his weakness was the Shotgun Ice. In that case, what is the perfect freeze to stand in for? There should have been boss doors here, instead of keys and key doors. Otherwise, the screen boundaries are not correctly set like that. The boss rooms should be completely independent of the other rooms, and have screen transitions both going in and out. Like this, for example. Next up is Launch Octopus, or Double Crystal Man and Bubble Man. I think the reason why we have key doors here is to replicate the wall being blown up. Nonetheless, all the entrances to these boss rematches should have been the regular boss gates. That's one of the flaws that these demakes have. Oh no thanks, I'm taking the lower route. Another case where this should have been a screen transition. Next up is a rematch against Flame Mammoth. So we have a screen transition here, but this is not the way to do it. Let's try this again. Because this is a vertical based weapon, it means hitting them is more of a problem. I was gonna die there. I should have used an E-tank. That's one of the issues with several of these Maverick rematches. Their setups are not the best. So Hard Man, Stone Man, Concrete Man, the Big Eye, and that tank are all the stand-ins for D-Rex. This is gonna be a problem. I don't have an E-tank remaining, and I don't know if there's a way to dodge all their attacks. I think the best idea is to take them on one by one. Alright, the level's done. Next up is Sigma Fortress 4 with 14 plays and a score of -2. This is going to be a much shorter stage. After all, I'm only going to face off against Velgarder and Sigma. Well, this intersection is a lot more hectic. Originally I only needed to worry about the crawlers, but now I have to worry about both the rolling drills and the gyries. First up is Velgarder, aka Sigma's robotic guard dog. Now Sigma Phase 1. Now to Sigma Phase 2. Oh, 6 bosses at once. Well, that's one way of defeating 2 of them at once. Another one too. Well, now I can see why this stage got a negative score. This boss fight is really chaotic. I just got lucky with crushing them against the ceiling there. Even Mega Man X Hard Type wasn't that chaotic. I still ask the question, what is the perfect freeze to stand in for? It seems that a lot of bosses are weak to it. Is that a replacement for the Hadouken? I'll defeat him the safe way by standing here. Better safe than sorry. Also, the crash lights are broken and not moving here. I know this is really straightforward if you use special weapons and use Z-tanks, but nonetheless, you are going to take damage unless you're extremely skilled or get very lucky. You're gonna be forced to take quite a bit of damage here. Sigma's down. Oh, this is the part of the game where X teleports out of the castle. And now we're out. By the way, you can actually skip falling into the teleporter and fall to your death. Last but not least is the credits, with 34 plays and a score of 6. Time to wrap up this level series and give my overall thoughts on it. It was okay to decent. It started out promising with stage 1, outside those issues following the Vile standing encounter and that vertical corridor, but it started to fall apart with stage 2 and onwards, especially with stage 3. Iceman? Are we gonna have a boss rush again now? Looks to be the case. All 8 Mavericks once again. Well, that was odd. I was getting pulled off screen from something. I forget who you're supposed to replace. Armored Armadillo. Launch Octopus, so they're in order. Oh my bad, I got the weakness order messed up. I was thinking more Crystal Man than Launch Octopus stand-in. But as I was saying, I found this to be okay to decent, could do with a lot of reworking to be better. I guess Boomer Kuwanger? But out of all the Mega Man X demakes I played in recent date, at least the first 2 stages felt the most promising. It's just that the remaining 2 needed a lot more work, and the final Sigma Pal stage felt way too chaotic, hence why I got a negative score. Are we gonna face off against the Sigma stand-ins again? Now we swap over to Zero, aka Proto Man. So I presume Vile's next. Yep, all bosses in the game, including Fortress bosses probably. I'm gradually losing more and more special weapons. That was it, only Vile at the end. A nice way to have a credit stage. Although I felt the boss battles here were a lot more fair than the Fortress bosses for the most part. That was another one of my complaints, I'd say. So overall, out of the 2 level series I covered in this episode, I think I like Book 3 more than the Sigma Fortress demakes. They felt better designed and more cohesive. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!